Hello, this is Zamilla Earthling doing daily tarot inspiration and encouragement. I'm going to start with the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. The first card is Choice. Choice, options, opportunity, free will, self-determination, mindfulness, manifestation, cause and effect, reward, consequence, and procrastination. Key ideas include choice creates reality, belief is a choice, inaction is also a choice. The choice is yours. Determine your direction. The past has influence. Choice offers reward or consequence. Weigh your options. Choose wisely. Stop procrastinating. Be responsible for your choices. Awareness empowers. All that you are, all that you have learned and experienced, is born of choice. The choices you have made, the choices others have made on your behalf, or choices they have made for themselves that have impacted on or influenced your life. You may believe that you have no choice, but that in itself is a choice. You may also exercise your right to allow others to decide for you. This too is a choice. You may believe that you have too many options and allow this to confuse and cloud your ability to choose. Yet this is another choice. You are free to choose, or to allow others to choose for you. You can choose blindly or with care. You can choose to act or procrastinate. You can make your choices wisely with knowledge and awareness, or make them in ignorance. Whether you choose to believe it or not, you are blessed with free will, the power to act and choose independently and determine your future. You are a product of your choices and the choices of others. All that surrounds you within your environment is the result of your choices and the choices of others. All comes back to choice. In the past, when you were a child, dependent upon your parents and family for food, shelter, love, and protection, your choices were limited and often made on your behalf. As you grew older, your power to choose and play an active role in your experiences increased. Those choices, made for you and by you, helped shape you and played a foundational role in creating the person you are in the present. All that you have experienced because of those choices has shaped your beliefs, how you perceive the world around you, and how you experience it. We cannot unmake our choices. We cannot reverse time and relive the same moment over again. It is the past, and the past cannot be changed. We can, however, choose to make different choices in the present because we have chosen to learn from our past choices and the consequences born of those choices. Be mindful of your past, how you were raised in the environment that you were born into, as it will play a foundational role in influencing your ability to see and make new choices. Ask yourself, am I a slave to my upbringing? Have I been conditioned to believe and behave in a particular manner? Does this conditioning enable and empower, or limit and restrict? Are you holding on tight to hurts and bad memories that bind you to a past moment? Is this preventing you from moving forward and making choices that will result in more positive and affirming experiences? When the choice card appears in a past position, you are being asked to question how your past may be influencing your ability to choose in an empowered manner in the present. In the present, in this moment, exists an opportunity to create or transform your future. You stand at the crossroads. The past is behind you and the future lies ahead. Now is the time to take control of your life and determine the direction you wish to take. Be both mindful of and responsible for the choices you make in the present. Take note of how your relationships, beliefs, and emotional state are influencing you. Do you see opportunities and options available to you in abundance? Or are your opportunities few and your options limited? Are you a glass half full or a glass half empty kind of person? Use this moment to take stock. Ask yourself if the decision you have before you is being overly influenced by your relationship with another. Are you choosing in order to make someone else happy or to make yourself happy? Is your choice fraught with risk? Have you given thought to the potential consequences or rewards of this particular course of action? Remember, this choice is yours. Whether that choice involves taking a risk, allowing someone else to choose for you, or giving another's happiness and well-being more importance than your own. It is even your choice to do nothing at all. When the choice card appears in the present, you are being asked to make your decisions with the awareness that your choices define you, and you have real power. Your choices create your present and future reality, and for good or for ill, will have an impact on not only you, but also on those around you. For the future, for every action there is an equal reaction. For every choice you make, then act upon, or do not act upon, there will be a direct or indirect reward or consequence. The choice card in the future position asks that you practice mindfulness even when making spontaneous decisions. What will your choice bring into your life? Have you considered the potential consequences, or only the potential rewards? Have you taken the time to weigh your options and take into account the potential impacts of your decision and the reality that a choice cannot be unmade? Your choices have the power to open and close doors, build bridges, and burn them. Could your decisions have potential consequences that you have not considered? Could your choice bring about the ending of friendship or marriage, the loss of your job, or worse, when a different choice could bring abundance and delight? Regardless of the choice before you, take time to consider the future ramifications of your decisions and actions, and choose in a way that brings change of your own design and making. The direction you take now will lead you to the future. See and weigh up your options, determine your direction. Look to the potential consequences and rewards, and consider the impact your choices may have. Decide whether those choices are worth the cost, and whether they will bring forth a future that is in harmony with your intentions and desires. In terms of a potential blockage, are you spending all your time looking for options and opportunities because you do not like the options that have already been presented to you? Sometimes our searching fails to uncover a choice that brings us happiness or an outcome that we desire, so we continue to look, hoping that something better will come along. In this way, we may only be delaying the inevitable. The reversed choice card symbolizes a need to accept that sometimes the only choice available is the one we do not want to make. Sometimes we have to choose the next best option, or the path of least reward. Sometimes the path of least reward will lead us to unexpected treasure. Sometimes we are limited to a choice that will bring us happiness, albeit fleeting, and one that will not. A choice between immediate gratification and self-sacrifice. Make your choice with the awareness that instant gratification might not prove to be the most rewarding option. Do not allow a fear of being unhappy or disliked, or having to work hard or go without, to prevent you from making a choice that will bring greater rewards and benefits in the future. Consider that your procrastination or your inaction may result in someone else making a choice for you and creating a future that is even less to your liking. The key themes that we see here with the choice card are personal power and self-sacrifice. When I talk about self-sacrifice in this context, I mean self-sacrifice for the sake of yourself, not necessarily for the sake of someone else, where you're building up yourself to benefit yourself in the future. If there's potential blockage, consider that there is a wee devil within all of us who whispers that we are acting for the greater good, or not at fault where others are concerned. Does that voice encourage you to laugh aside the fears and concerns of loved ones, or to respond with defensive anger? It is time to let your conscience guide you, instead of your selfish desires. Remember, your actions and choices have the power to do lasting hurt to others. Are you choosing to be blind, or to turn your back on those who love you in order to cater to your own self-interest, bad habits, or addictions? Are you gambling with someone else's future happiness as well as your own? It is easy to say that those you hurt are responsible for what they choose to feel and how they react. But embracing this belief, even if it is true, still shows a marked lack of empathy and understanding. Your words and deeds have influences and consequences. Do not deceive yourself into believing that you are above reproach or accountability. You're cautioned against arrogance and pride. Understanding and consideration for others is needed. This card really makes me think of a situation that I was thinking about today where I had the urge to want to avoid it, to protect myself. And instead of trying to avoid situations, we can embrace whatever situation we come in contact or whatever people we come in contact with and approach it as opportunities to heal the world around us, the people around us, as well as ourselves, instead of trying to protect ourselves and avoid experiencing what we perceive to be unpleasant experiences. The next card is the Three of Water. It's about satisfaction, pleasure, joy, hopefulness, anticipation, attachment, expectation, and disappointment. Key phrases include: celebrate your victories, take satisfaction from your endeavors, look to the future with anticipation, your success will continue, a rewarding outcome, an exciting future. Free yourself of unrealistic expectations. Allow the outcome to manifest freely. The Three of Water represents satisfaction and indicates that you have come to a time to rejoice in life and your success. She stands tall and confident, with arms raised in victorious celebration. She has invested greatly in her creative endeavors and is well satisfied with her progress and accomplishments so far. She is positive and hopeful that her success will continue, and so she turns to greet the future with anticipation and excitement. This card is a positive affirmation and symbolizes the joyous potential for a rewarding outcome. It also signifies the importance of taking time to appreciate, celebrate, and enjoy yourself along the way. Look back and be proud of what you've accomplished. Do a little victory dance before turning once more to the future with a heart full of hope and a smile upon your lips. It is important to allow yourself these moments of joy and celebration and to remember them. So the flip side of this card in terms of a potential blockage is a caution against weighing down a potential outcome with the burden of your expectations. Make sure your hopes and desires are realistic and let go of those that are not. Free yourself of the binding nature and weight of unrealistic expectations, and, in doing so, allow the outcome you seek to manifest in its own way and time. Remember, the more you expect, the more disappointed you will be if the future you hope for does not unfold as you imagined. This is really interesting. The first card is about choice, really about your personal power in terms of your actions and also your attitudes towards others and towards yourself. And if we look in terms of the last card, success, joy, satisfaction, it is this thoughts about our future, about success, about satisfaction, and being too focused on criticisms of yourself, like why it won't work out, or having these unrealistic expectations. I'm going to just start right away and see results right away, or criticizing or getting yourself down when you're just getting started. Of course, you're not going to be amazing when you just get started, as long as you keep working on it and just keep focused and on the everyday things you need to do, you will get there eventually. And in the middle here, we have themes of deception. For example, self-deception, telling yourself lies. I'm not good enough at this, to be able to doing this. I don't deserve to do this, or this is a waste of time. Like whatever you want to be doing to create the future that you really want, a future that's for you and not for someone else. This is also not only in terms of what we want to create for our purpose for our lives, but also in terms of relationships. In our relationships, we have the choice to look at other people and see them not as a hindrance or an annoyance, but a chance for us to fulfill part of our mission on earth, to offer forgiveness and bless other people with understanding and compassion. And by doing that, we can find joy and satisfaction, even in small ways in our own lives, where as long as we're less focused on the small even irritations that other people give us, we can find more joy and satisfaction in our lives. On a bigger scale, if we are focused, instead of being extremely critical of others or ourselves, stepping into our healing potential and capability in our interactions with others. I'm going to draw some cards from the Messenger Oracle. I'm really excited about this deck. It's the 2nd edition, and it's borderless. Both these decks, the Dreams of Gaia Tarot and the Messenger Oracle, are both decks by Raven Villan. So that's really cool. This card that we got is really tied in with the choice card, where we really need the belief in what you're doing in order to make the choice and take the actions to step towards your goals and your dreams. The second card is Make the Sacrifice. You will not achieve the outcome you desire if you are unwilling to act upon your intentions. It is not as simple as wanting something to happen or believing that it will happen. You have to make it happen, and to make it happen requires that you be willing and ready to do whatever is necessary, no matter the sacrifice. For everything you desire, you must give up yourself in return. This ties in very closely to the choice, where you have analyzed the opportunity cost and say, is it worth it? Is it worth the sacrifice? And if it is, then step forward into it and acknowledge that you will have to give up something. And if you're feeling the pain of that, you can go back to your choice and realize you always have a choice. You're never beholden to something that is not good for you. You always have a choice to make the changes and adapt as you need to, but don't be afraid to go ahead and see something through to the end that you feel strongly on your heart. Making the sacrifice, this might actually mean giving up your ego, giving up the desire to feel self-righteous or self-justified. This is especially true in relationships where self-righteousness is never going to get you the end result that you want. The third card is Trust in Magic. Magic is the mysterious and coincidental. It is at the heart of those moments of synchronicity and knowing. It is woven into the awareness that there is more to life than what you can see. It is born of that moment when you take a step without fear and with loving heart into the void, voice your desire, and have Great Spirit send his messengers to show you the way. Trust in magic. It is real and it surrounds you. So this is very, very cool. We have making a choice in seeking your destiny. Recognize that you have a special purpose to do that utilizes your abilities and develops your capabilities to do something that is uniquely your gift. And then we have the choice. We have the choice to make the sacrifice. It can be the sacrifice of ego, sacrifice of lying to yourself, saying that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve this, or this is too much for you to take on, or you don't have the capabilities or resources to do it, or even sabotaging yourself and sabotaging your relationships. But if you make the choice to move past your self-deception and you embrace your potential and capabilities, then there's success, there is joy, there is satisfaction, and there's something magical about to happen here. There's something that is going to step along beside you and help and guide you. It's when synchronicity comes in, when you get some rhythm, when you're tested here, faced with a decision, you make the choice to step into your destiny, you're tested, and then the magic starts to happen. I'm going to choose a card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. We got Beloved, Radical Acceptance. The object of affection, radical acceptance, loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one you've been waiting for. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful or ugly in your being. The beloved may not be a person at all. It may be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. Love it, let it light you up, and give it your all. Surrender to this truth and know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you are being consumed by the fire of the beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. Usher the harsh critic out the door and shut your eyes and ears to the judgment of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke. Be careful you are not seduced by false promises or falling prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. Sink with and sink into your heart and trust your sense of what is true, and you will know what to do. The true beloved is never false. Every gift proffered is valuable. Recognize the many faces of the beloved and welcome them into your heart. You will be so glad you did. Loving What Is an amazing book by Byron Katie. I highly recommend it. It's a great start for learning self-acceptance and self-love. Also acceptance and love for everyone else as well, because it's very tied together, your love for others and your love for yourself. So for those of you who really have that harsh inner critic, you can look at this kind of reading where it's got some themes that are a little harder to deal with and can trigger that self-criticism. But we can see here that it's really not about what you've done wrong or that you need to reprimand yourself for something, but that instead it's this radical acceptance that you really need and radical self-love. So this is a really good reminder that, there's lots of things that can trigger your harsh inner critic, and just to be patient with yourself and just be aware and watch yourself in that, and then love on yourself through it. The last card for today is going to be from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. Feeling the world. Sensitivity to the feeling of others, awareness of the whole world and a broader perception, empathy overload and overwhelm. Empathy reminds you that you are not alone. it is a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity all around you, giving you a profound sense of belonging, a broader experience of being part of the larger whole. That said, it can also be overwhelming, especially when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you've tuned into. You might find it's not even yours. If you're feeling off or drained when you're with someone, they may be siphoning your energy. In such an instance, this connection is not good for you, no matter how charismatic the person is or how attracted to them you feel. Do not mistake codependency for closeness or allow your boundaries to become too porous. Trust your instincts and take care of you. Practice saying no. Avoid the temptation to turn off and go numb. Instead, be present. Somewhere in the middle of this feeling spectrum is where the magic is. You're also being asked now to be aware of how your words and actions may affect others. While it's not your job to determine how someone will respond to you, discernment is necessary. Be firm, yet kind. Keep in mind that people-pleasing will not give you what you truly need. That said, your empathy is beautiful and important. It just has to be balanced in order for you to access its wondrous gifts. Today, celebrate the beauty of your sensitivity and that of others. In your interactions with others, sharing your dreams and also working through conflicts, they can even be very small conflicts in perceptions or paradigms, where there isn't a huge risk in you disagreeing, but you may be uncomfortable with it. You may not be sure how to communicate with others. When you're able to release yourself from your own judgment and criticisms, you're able to handle the judgment and criticisms of others better as well. It can open up a whole world of possibilities here because you can see every interaction differently. You can see it no longer as a threat of someone discouraging or disparaging you, but rather as if their words don't necessarily have to have power over you, where you can be really confident in yourself. When the things that other people say hurt us, it's because they reflect something inside of us that believes that, oh, maybe possibly what they're saying is true. So when we really look deep within ourselves and heal our own wounds and insecurities and fears and worries and doubts, then we can become a lot stronger and we don't have to be worried about possible criticisms of others really taking us off our path. We can withstand criticisms because we've dealt with them within ourselves first. That's it for the reading today. Thank you for watching.